Okay, so we're doing the candidates for school board, and you each get a minute to introduce yourself. We'll start with Kristen Pence.
Good evening, I'm Kristen Pence, and I'm seeking re-election for the South River School Board seat. I was born and raised in Browntown. I am a graduate of Warren County High School, a veterinarian, and mother of a second grader at Ressie Jeffries. For the past 4 years, I have treated this position as my second full-time job, and I have worked hard to serve our schools to the best of my ability. I have carefully considered each decision I have made and truly looked for the best outcome for all students. Discipline issues and student safety have been brought to the forefront with the start of this school year, and I am working with my fellow board members, teachers, administrators, parents, and students every day to ensure our kids are safe. Providing students with a safe, inclusive learning environment is the only way to ensure student academic success and a positive school culture. This is an all-hands-on-deck situation for our community, and it will take each and every one of us working together to support our kids, our teachers, and our schools. Thank you.
Next we have Amber Mabie.
Hello, I'm Amber Mabie. I want to thank the Builders Association for sponsoring the forum, and thank you to all of those in attendance tonight. I am a write-in candidate for the seat of the school board in the Shenandoah District. I am a long-time resident of Warren County and currently live in Linden with my husband Derek and 4 of our 8 children, all of whom have attended Warren County Public Schools. My education is a tapestry comprised of a public school education, some college, and a lot of life lessons. As your candidate with skin in the game, I have spent many hours in the classroom as a volunteer, as well as a substitute teacher. I am the parent that you see in the pickup line, field trips, sporting events, and the such. And I also believe that political agendas have no place in our schools. Thank you.
Okay, our first question tonight is for Amber Mabie, and then we'll go on to Kristen Pence. The question is, instances of bullying and misconduct appear to be increasingly prevalent, particularly in our local middle schools. According to some reports, teachers are not allowed or are fearful to physically intervene to separate students who are engaged in a physical altercation. What are your thoughts on this? Would you consider implementing any changes to the current strategies in place to combat bullying and student violence policies?
Sure. So I first want to say that no teacher should ever have to place themselves in harm's way to break up a fight. I believe that we should have more support in our schools for that. I believe that middle school is it's a pressure cooker. I think that you have kids coming from the elementary schools, and it's just a stage in their development where they're going to push boundaries. They have to know their boundaries. We have to have firm boundaries, and we have to support our educators that bring to attention a behavioral issue.
Would you like to hear the question again?
I think I'm okay.
Okay.
Thank you. So I started my morning today with a call from a mom. I ended my day today with a conversation with a student. I'm hearing from more parents, teachers, and students every day about the bullying and discipline issues we are having in our schools. We have the discipline policies in place. We need to work on enforcing them. A lot of those conversations are going to start at home with each of our own individual kids. We also need to make our teachers feel comfortable while they're at school. They need to be able to have that support from their administration. I think now more than ever, everyone is aware of the problems that we're seeing, and together we can work together as a community to help solve them. But again, if our kids and our teachers don't feel safe in our buildings, they will not be able to learn. They will not have a successful academic career.
Okay, so our second question, we're going to start with Ms. Pence this time. Some candidates for the school board choose to homeschool their children rather than enrolling them in the public education system. What motivates you to run for a position on the school board if your own children are not part of this system? If you do not homeschool your children, could you share your thoughts on the subject of homeschooling versus public education?
Interesting question. Thank you. So I can speak to my time on the board right now, sitting with one of our board members who homeschools. I have learned a lot about taking in different perspectives. I've learned that everyone in our community has the right to choose what's going to be right for their own child. So in our community, we have a huge homeschool co-op. We have a lot of amazing private school options. As a parent myself, I've chosen public education. I'm a huge supporter of public education, which is 100% why I'm here on this board, why I give all my time and energy to this position, and why I'm seeking re-election to hopefully have our public education system, one that rivals all of our surrounding counties, so we graduate our students ready to attend college, ready to enter the workforce, the trades, whatever it is that they choose to do next. I want them to have that foundation to be successful.
Thank you. Mrs. Mabie, would you like to hear the question again?
Please.
Okay. Some candidates for the school board choose to homeschool their children rather than enrolling them in the public education system. What motivates you to run for a position on the school board if your children are not part of this system? If you do not homeschool your children, could you share your thoughts on the subject of homeschooling versus public education?
Sure. I think that parents, we can speak from COVID, and so I think we've all had an education in homeschooling. And I can tell you that having 5 children at my kitchen table and attempting to homeschool them was not fun. We wound up going outside and using our hands. We made forts. We learned math that way. So I think that if you don't have children in our public schools, you should not have a say on our school board. I question an agenda. And I question how out of touch you are with what our children and our educators are dealing with in our schools.
Okay, so now we'll move to closing remarks, and you get 2 minutes. We'll start with Ms. Pence.
At the Chamber Forum last week, I mentioned all the ways I'm actively involved in our community and our schools. Moving forward, I hope to find ways to engage more parents and community members in our schools. For the second year, Warren County Public Schools theme is family engagement. I want to see us acting on that theme in all schools division-wide. We have students struggling with absenteeism because their families are struggling. So let's look for ways we can help each other. I hope to expand support for our new teachers through our mentor program, but I also want to find ways to support our kids and our parents. Participating in clubs like Early Act at the elementary level starts to build a sense of pride in helping others at an early age, and that mindset will move forward with those kids as they enter middle school, where we are seeing higher numbers of bullying, vaping, and other behavior issues. I'm seeking re-election because I believe in public education, and I have the drive and experience to ensure all our kids are receiving an education that prepares them for success. I continue to be optimistic about the good work we are doing in Warren County Public Schools, and I'm asking for your support on November 7th. Thank you to the Warren County Builders Association for having us here tonight at this forum.
Ms. Mabie?
Thank you. I am a mother with the heart of an advocate for all of humanity. To paraphrase the words of Brené Brown, it's time to speak truth to bold. So let's just be very clear. Hate comes in all shapes, sizes, and ages. And recently, it's hidden under a cloak of red. Smoke and mirrors, fear mongers that seek to distract us from what they are doing. They think that our rule setting and our old-fashioned values mean that we are not smart enough to see what they are trying to do. We are a kind people that come from generations of hard workers. They have seriously underestimated the resolve of a community that truly knows and loves their neighbor. Hate has no place here. All children have a right to be educated in an environment that is safe and inclusive. Our babies are hurting. Children are taking their lives. Children are killing other children. Aiden Cram is eating through a straw. If you vote to put Mr. McFadden on the school board, you are adding fuel to an already raging fire. Our children have a right to be loved and to love who they want. It is not my place or your place or our school's place to instill any of that in our children. Parents, you decide what is appropriate for your child to read, watch, listen to, etc. That is not the job of our government at any level. Please come out and vote for me. I am a write-in candidate for the Shenandoah seat on the school board. Amber Mabie. Thank you.